I have the pleasure of introducing our next guest speaker, who is an incredible friend of mine. In fact, Trish is actually not just a friend. She's actually my accountability partner. Ever since we started in the speaker training program together, she's on the phone with me pretty much every day at 8 o'clock sharp, saying, Chris, did you do what you said you were going to do? And then I say, Trish, did you do what you said you were going to do? Right? And we have our fun conversations. And every once in a while, when I kind of veer off and not do what I was, she just kind of reaches through the phone and goes, So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome fellow speaker leader, Trish Leptick.
And spoken in front of a group like this, and I have no idea what's going to happen up here. But I'm just going to do it anyway. My name is Trish Leptick, and life is good. I have the good fortune of being able to be a stay-at-home mom. And at the same time, I'm enrolled in Dove Speaker Training Program, where I'm learning to claim my voice and make a difference. I'm learning and growing, and every night I go to bed so excited about tomorrow. But don't get me wrong, it wasn't always like that. I remember when I was sitting where you guys are sitting right now, and I was intrigued and listening, but I wasn't really expecting anything. Until Dov said, what you focus on is what you get. And that's when it dawned on me that I had brought all the crap into my life myself. And that's when I knew I wanted it to be different. I wanted my life to be better, richer, more. I wanted to be more than the person I was being. And so that's when I knew this core affluence system was for me. Before I walked into the room that weekend, my biggest challenge was that I had been living in fear. Even though I was living in my dream house with my dream man, I would lie in bed at night, terrified that I was going to lose it all. I mean terrified. Like your worst nightmare. I don't know if you've had it before, but where your worst fears are chasing you and you can't run because your legs are cemented in the ground. It's a horrible feeling. And I was becoming more fearful. I'm more certain that I was going to lose everything. And as I focused there, it actually started to happen. The dream house was starting to get to be an expensive nightmare. And then there was the silent fear that was in my marriage. See, I had taken for granted the fact that Steve and I would just always be madly in love, traveling, having fun. And then I remember we were driving into Berlin to catch a flight. And I suddenly became aware of the absolute silence in the car. I looked over at Steve, and he looked a million miles away. And I realized that I too was far off in my mind. And then when I tried to connect with him, it was like we spoke two different languages. The silence grew. And then one day I woke up and looked in the mirror, and all I could see was what was wrong with me. It seemed like ever since my dad had died the year before, I had gotten old. And I felt so uptight and serious, and I felt so boring. I just let my husband do all the talking, and I hid behind him, and I got quiet. And that's the person I became. But you know what happened? I transformed all of that. I enrolled, and Steve came with me. And the core affluence system really supercharged our lives. I love being. And I've forgotten all about those fears, because I learned there that underlying my fear was my own belief that I didn't deserve the beautiful house or the amazing husband, so I was doing a great job at pushing him and that life away. But then, when I learned how to step out of my fear, everything changed. The dream house is entirely paid for, and it's still expensive, but I don't lie awake at night worrying about it. And Steve and I have changed our focus from loss to abundance, and our company's profits have tripled. But what's more is the level of connection that I now have with my husband, Steve. You know, he's in the room this weekend, and if it's okay with you, I would like to honor him. Do you think you could stand so everyone knows you really do exist? Steve, thank you for coming on this journey with me. For having the courage to be vulnerable, and for not settling for a disconnected marriage. Thank you for seeing all my faults and loving me anyway. I love you more today than ever. By focusing on love and joy instead of that uptightness that I had, I've attracted some incredible people into my life, some of whom have become really good friends. And they're here in the room today. So you know what? Now that I know that what I focus on I get, I'm so excited. Because in applying the core affluence system in my life, that where that is taking me now is the next level. Because I want to leave a legacy. For me, this planet's environment is breaking my heart, and I want to help. So I've started today, I'm claiming my voice, and I know I'm going to need some dollars. So I made a commitment this weekend when we were doing our manifesting, and I'm going to bring in $100K by this time next year. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I know that what I focus on, I get. And I now have a system that I know works. So if any of you were considering applying the core affluence system in your life, here's what I would say. First, I would ask you, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on your fear? Because how long can you afford to do that? Do you want to be that person who finally gets it, but they're too afraid and they're too old to do anything about it? Because I don't. My only fear now is that I'm not dreaming big enough. So if you want to take your life into success, and from success to leaving a legacy, what are you waiting for? Invest in yourself, find out what you're capable of, and take the journey on the core affluence system. And please help me welcome my really good friend and my mentor, Dov Barron.